The main thing that you need to look for when looking for a cloud provider is really what is the breadth of capabilities that they offer. There's a lot of companies out there that are siloed in their abilities. You can find somebody to host Exchange. You can find somebody to do desktop virtualization. You can find somebody to do infrastructure as a service. The problem with finding individual siloed organizations is the integration between those. It doesn't seem like a lot on the surface, but when you really consider those pieces all have to play together to make a seamless, contiguous infrastructure or ecosystem, you really have to make sure that you've got somebody who understands all the pieces and parts and how they interact in order to get the best service. So you want to find a provider that has the breadth of capabilities to do all aspects of what you're trying to do in the cloud, as opposed to one component or another. CenterBeam, as an example, has in our virtual data center offering the ability to do database hosting, web hosting, application hosting in the virtual apps platform, and virtual private server. Those four components give you a true 4-tier or N-tier application hosting capability, which a traditional single siloed service provider wouldn't be able to help you with. And we have the competency in all those areas, not just one or the other. So the other things you need to consider really from when you're looking at service provider is making sure security is a native part of what they do. That you have a good reporting infrastructure that shows you everything transparently in your solution. So not only from a security perspective, but performance and operating capabilities in their platform. You also want to make sure that you have access. If the only access to a provider's infrastructure is through a portal, you'll be limited in what you're able to do in your platform. So you'll want to have direct access to the servers that you're hosting in that platform. For example, RDP or secure shell access directly into those servers. And finally, that transparency is probably the most important component, where you need to be able to see what's going on in your platform at any time. So the portal should be more than just a provisioning portal, but also a reporting interface, a pane of glass that you can look into the platform with. Also, when you're thinking about a provider, you really want to consider the length of the contract and the type of contract. CenterBeam, as an example, has a very flexible one-page contract that's very easy to get out of. And what that does for our customers is it puts the onus of the relationship on CenterBeam's shoulders as opposed to on the customer's shoulder. We've really turned the paradigm upside down in the market space, so that rather than having deep negotiations in terms of how you get out of the contract, we make it so easy that we say, if you decide this doesn't work, we'll help you get out of the contract. And that's the last thing we want, so we're going to do everything to make you happy, and customer satisfaction becomes the primary focus rather than a particular uptime metric.